One, I ended with talking about how Cal-Maine Foods and Moark LLC might be connected. Well, here's how they're connected. In 2014, Moark LLC, which you'll remember is a subsidiary of Land O'Lakes, purchased Delta Egg Farm from Moark LLC, the largest producer of fresh eggs in the United States. Cal-Maine, largest producer of fresh eggs in the United States. It's everywhere. Anywhere you go look, you'll find that out. Since they bought out Delta Egg Farm in 2014 from Moark LLC, Cal-Maine has distributed more than 1 billion dozen eggs a year. So now that we've established that Cal-Maine is the largest producer of eggs and they bought Delta Egg Farm from Moark LLC, how does that have anything to do with the feed? Well, I'll tell you. Well, in 2012, Cal-Maine Foods Incorporated went into a new joint venture with Eggland's Best Incorporated. And who else? Oh, yeah, Land O'Lakes. So the producer of Purina Foods, Land O'Lakes, the feed that most of us are feeding our chickens, is now in a joint venture with the largest egg producer in the United States. And you might be telling yourself, well, Keely, that doesn't have anything to do with me because I feed my chickens Producer's Pride from Tractor Supply. Yeah, well, I got into that too. I had just thrown a bag of Producer's Pride Scratch in the dumpster, so I went outside, thought maybe I'd see who's producing that. Well, on the back of it, the only information it gives is Tractor Supply with a phone number. So I called that phone number and I asked, who is the manufacturer or the vendor for Producer's Pride? And the lady on the phone, she said, well, we do warranty stuff here. I'd have to give you the phone number for and if you want any information on that feed, you're going to have to call the vendor. And I was like, well, I'm asking who's the vendor. And she says, oh, the vendor is Purina. So I called Purina. I called Purina customer service 4 times. Got put on hold, and the phone would disconnect when I'd ask the question. I finally called and got on hold for so long that they asked me to leave a message and someone would call me back. So I did. I left a message and someone did call me back. Producer's Pride and Do More Feed from Tractor Supply are both manufactured by Purina, which is owned by Land O'Lakes, which is in a joint venture with the largest egg producer in the United States, Cal-Maine Foods Incorporated. And it's damn near impossible. You can't do just a simple Google search and find out what all feeds Purina produces. So I decided to call customer service, and I'll show you guys the call now. Usually feed my chickens Do More Feed, and I was just wondering which other brands of chicken feeds that you guys manufacture.
We manufacture the Purina Laina, the Purina poultry line we do. For laying hens, it would be the Purina Laina, or we have a Purina high protein Laina, that kind of stuff.
Okay, and then you guys also manufacture Producer's Pride, right?
Yes, and we have not found any issues with it yet.
And I just want to stop it right there for a moment because I never asked about an issue with the feeds. I never asked. She volunteered that information.
Okay,
I was just wondering, is there any other brands that you guys produce? Why wouldn't you know
that? Much that's it. The Purina brand is one, and Do More and the Producer's Pride. And we picked those two according to Tractor Supply formulations. We don't use our formula in our feeds.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Sure. Can I get your name?
Now, I called Purina 3 other times this morning trying to get a hold of somebody, and when I would ask the question, the call would get disconnected. And then I called back, and I ended up having to leave voicemail, and that's the lady that called me back. In case it's not just staring you straight in the face, the largest producer of eggs in the United States, is in a joint venture with Purina, essentially. The feed we're all feeding our chickens. Let's go to another part, because I have more. Cal-Maine's website, and I looked for their financial records. 2022 financial report on Form 10K. Now, before we go into that report, I want you guys to ask yourselves, when did your chickens stop laying? You know, for me, it was around September. They started diminishing in their egg production. And then by November, I wasn't getting anything at all. So let's just see how, what does that have to do with anything, Keely? Well, on page 4 of their financial report, it reads, in fiscal year 2021, we announced that our board of directors approved several new capital projects with an estimated cost of $105 million to further expand the company's cage-free production capabilities. These projects include expanding our cage-free egg production at our Okeechobee, Florida production facility. The project is designed to include the construction of 2 cage-free layer houses and 1 cage-free pellet house, with capacity of approximately 400,000 cage-free hens and 210,000 pullets, respectively. Construction is well underway, with the first pullets placed in mid-May 2022. The first layer house to be finished by when? Oh, September 2022, when all of our chickens stopped laying.